Hey guys, the Chief Asch here again to do another edition of OctoberQuest 31 Days, 31 Reviews. So today, in the last a few reviews past this month, I have talked about, these clowns that are walking around talking to people because it's a big deal or whatever, and I was like, Halloween doesn't really count as a clown movie. Right? It just starts off with a clown situation. So I watched a clown movie that I saw all the way back when movie rental stores were a popular thing. And I was always curious about it, and I finally watched it. I think it was all the way back then. I don't know. I've seen the movie around, and I was always curious as to what it was. And it was on Netflix, so I checked it out. But today I'm reviewing the movie Stiches, which it's one of those movies that has the show poster is a clip from the movie, which typically that's a bad sign. Like you'll find like a lot of your higher end movies, it's more of like a still of like a situation that a character's in that's not necessarily in the movie, and even if it is, it's changed. But this picture was taken directly from the movie, and one thing was photoshopped out. So that was it. So there's that. But it's definitely kind of a stereotypical horror movie. It's about this clown that he entertains at birthday parties, and he goes to this one birthday party, and these kids are just like relentless, and it's not like relentless like in the realistic way where the kids hate clowns, but the kids literally end up killing the clown, and it's not on purpose, and that's the whole premise of the movie, is that they accidentally kill him, but it's not on purpose. And one thing that I thought was hilarious, and it plays to the quality of the movie, is the Netflix little synopsis of it says that he dies by taking a cleaver to the face, but what happens is he falls on a knife. So, like, there's not even a cleaver in the entire movie. So it's kind of funny that it was that far off, and it was such it's almost a really pertinent detail because the clown keeps pulling knives out of his sleeves. I guess it's because that's how he died. But the movie is set up like a horror comedy. But it's weird because every time the killer, who's the clown, makes a joke, the actor takes it super serious. Like doesn't falter or not. He'll make the dumbest fucking pun ever, and it's obviously supposed to be kind of funny, and he's a fucking clown, and he just says it in the most like into it way possible, and it can't, and it's not even for that. It's not even bad. It's funny. It's just bad, and it's just you're just like, what are you doing, dude? And there are funny parts of the movie, but it's not the jokes in the movie. It's set up like a horror comedy, as I said, so there's supposed to be parts that are funny, but it's not the jokes that are funny. It's the situations that are set up, and there's confusing plot elements, and there's a huge plot hole in my opinion. There's probably more than one, but there's one that just glared me right in my eyeballs. But the confusing plot is they set up this thing where it's like, I mean, obviously, like, main plot of the movie, the clown comes back to life because he got killed by the knife, or cleaver if you ask Netflix. And if it's kind of confusing because they set up the clown's return one way, and then it almost seems like another way brings him to life. Like, they set it up like, oh, the kid's having these flashbacks, and the clown's coming. So, like, he was meant to come anyway. But then it seems like that's not what brings the clown back. Like, this weird... He ends up getting this invitation to the dude's, like, Sweet 16 or whatever. And it lands on his grave, and he comes to life, and it seems like that's what brought him back. And it's kind of confusing in that, and it was just weird. But the big plot hole is, like, he uses this... I'm not going to say spoiler alert, because I feel like... I've got this worded out in such a way that I can get away with it. So check it out. He's got this nose. And twice in the movie he goes, smell him out. And he takes out and it's supposed to be funny, but it's not. And he takes his nose off, and he like throws it on the ground. And it rolls around like this party or whatever, and finds the specific kids that were there that like killed him. Or that were part of like the situation that killed him, and he finds them that way, and then he just appears, right? So I mean, obviously he's got this magical element to him, but like towards the end of the movie, he's searching for someone because he does that twice in the movie. At least twice. He may do it a third time, but I know for a fact he does it at least twice. And like a big thing towards the end of the movie is him looking for a specific couple of people, and he doesn't do that anymore. He literally has to find them, which is like, what the fuck, dude? You just magicked your way finding the other ones. Like, what's stopping you now? Like, what the hell? But I mean, the movie, it's got a grossness factor to it. So if you're into movies for that situation, there's that. It's not the worst acting I've ever seen. A lot of it's really mediocre, and I feel like the guy that played the clown was kind of lost as to what he should be portraying. Because, I mean, at the beginning of the movie, the guy that was the clown before he died, like, he was kind of a dick. Like, in that, he's supposed to be a dick, but he seemed to have some sort of sense of humor. And then as a zombie undead clown thingy that's supposed to be going around and killing people, he's just, every time he cracks a joke, and the only time it seems like he's trying to have fun with the role, because the character, the way they're setting up the character is like he's supposed to be a clown. He's very laughy and stuff like that. He's supposed to be. You can tell when you watch it. You can't take my word for it. Just watch the movie. It's on Netflix. He's definitely supposed to be that clown that's laughing, that's making jokes and stuff like that. And the dude just takes it super, super seriously. The only time he doesn't, there's a scene where he's riding a tricycle, and it just because there's no way you could take that seriously. But really, if you like watch this movie and you watch him, it's just like, what are you doing, dude? Because it looks like he just wants to be in this really serious slasher serial killer kind of thing, and he's dressed as a fucking clown, so it just doesn't work. But so I don't know. Those are just a couple things about the movie. It's on Netflix. I was laughing for reasons outside of the point of the movie. Is the movie good? No. Is it entertaining? You can get a laugh out of it. This is definitely one of those movies you kind of sit down, have a beer, and just watch it to watch it. I don't know, but it definitely, I don't know. It's got watchability, I guess. It's bad funny. It's bad funny. That's the best way to put it. It has some decent shots. I mean, there's nothing great about the movie. There's mediocre things about the movie, and then there's a couple bad things. So, but it has some of the situations are so ridiculous that it is kind of funny. So if that was the ultimate goal, and here's the thing: is I feel like a lot of horror comedy is there. It's kind of a cop out, because even if there is a mistake, you'd be like, well, it's supposed to be funny. So there's things in it that are funny that I don't feel like were supposed to be funny, but it kind of falls into the catch-all of the genre. So I don't know. It's worth watching because there's some things that are the situations are so funny. It's, there's a lot of movies out there like Troll 2. Like, that movie is considered often one of the worst movies ever made, and people watch it all the time because it's so bad it's funny. This is kind of a situation like that where the fact that the jokes miss. At first you're like, oh, come on, and eventually it's just funny. It's hilarious that they just can't hit it, and in certain situations it's just so check it out. Don't check it out. Check it out. I don't know. Take it as you will. Read about it. I don't know. At least look at the poster and see what I'm talking about. Is it being a show picture from the show, the actual movie itself? But this has been the Chief Asch for another OctoberQuest review on the movie Stiches, and keep watching.